Hey guys, and welcome to this new video. Today it's about toothbrushes. So in this new world where we're trying to modernize everything, why would you want a toothbrush with Bluetooth? Let's get started. So my model of toothbrush that I use is actually an older model of Oral-B. It's a like 1.5-year-old model, but that gives me enough experience to tell you if it's good or bad and why would you want it and do you actually need it. Now first, going over the toothbrush itself, if you get one of the more higher end models, I immediately notice it in the feeling. It feels way more premium. It doesn't feel like so much plastic is on there. I like the design and the battery life is awesome. You know, it just feels like a more premium device with or without the Bluetooth. Now, my specific model comes with a little display, like a little analog display that you can use instead of your phone, which I do really enjoy, but I'm pretty sure that they don't sell those anymore. Now, what does the app do? The basic thing is that you just put your phone down and you basically open the app with Bluetooth on. Bluetooth needs to be on. Turn on the toothbrush and you start brushing. And immediately a timer will start on your phone. And I gotta say, at least on iPhone, this is butterly smooth. I've never really had any problems with it. The only problems that I do sometimes have with this system is that the screen will stop counting if I use the app sometimes. Just rarely, but it does happen. Now, it basically starts counting for you on how many seconds you've been brushing. And this is not the only thing. It will tell you if you're brushing too hard. If your toothbrush has that sensor that detects how hard you're pushing down on your teeth, it will tell you if you're brushing too hard and where you need to be brushing your mouth, bottom right, bottom left, upper right, upper left. It will tell you where you need to be brushing at that given point. And during your brushing session, it will tell you like the news and the local weather, and it will update your locations and stuff like that. So now, what more things does the app offer? It offers achievements. Things like brushing so many times in a row, like streaks. Basically, Snapchat streaks, but for things like flossing or brushing or you name it, they kind of have achievements for it, and you can earn them, and they basically show up as trophies in the app. And when you're done with brushing, it will basically give you an overview of how it went and what you did and if you did it right or not, that kind of thing. It doesn't exactly know where you're brushing, so you could just brush one teeth for 2 minutes straight and, it will maybe tell you that you've done great. But of course, it will look at you like how hard you've been pushing and the time, and that's basically it. It will just tell you if you've done great or not. It will remind you to floss. It will remind you to change the little heads on the toothbrush and stuff like that. It will also show what kind of mode you're in. If your toothbrush has that, it will automatically update what mode you're in. Another thing that the app does is keeping track of how you've been brushing. And you might say, what if I forget to connect the app? Now, at least in my case, the toothbrush remembers it itself, and when using the app, it will sync up. In my opinion, it does that pretty well, and it will actually sync up a lot of days still from its own memory. It doesn't need the app specifically every time. And this is kind of where I feel like the display is a must-have accessory, because when you do have that little display, it's actually a pretty big convenience because that thing will start counting automatically. You can just set it down and it will start counting how many seconds you've been brushing, what mode you're in, if you're pushing too hard, where you should be brushing, like bottom right, stuff like that, and a star rating at the end. And that phone app is actually something that I do not use at all, basically, never. Unless I go out and I have my toothbrush with me, but not the timer, because I really want that timer. I just want to know how long I've been brushing for. And to summarize this whole thing, I love the toothbrush. I really do. But if you don't have the display, then I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, the app is useful in its own right, but I don't know if it's as convenient as using something as a stopwatch or something like that just to count your brushing stuff. I think it's just in its baby steps, because it does not really account for how well you're actually brushing. If it could know your position in your mouth, that would be great, but it can't do that right now. And if it could actually give you a completely overview in facts on how well you actually are brushing, because the only thing it knows now, if you're pushing too hard and the time you've been brushing, the rest is on you, and it'll give you a star rating based on that. as soon as it could detect that, if you actually have brushed the right way and actually well, then I would say it's awesome, but it can't do that right now. So for me, right now, it's a gimmick. I can recommend it if you like the features and you probably get a more premium toothbrush with it. I mean, the more premium toothbrushes now carry that, you know, bigger battery, more premium materials, stuff like that. If you care about that, it comes included anyway. But the app does offer a lot of features, like even personal features, but to me, the app is more of a gimmick than a feature. That's it. Now, if I helped you out with this video, please leave a like down below, and if you want to see more, subscribe. If you have a question about this app or anything else, leave it down below and I will try to get an answer for you, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.